Hello, my fourth grade Panther readers. This is our first Wednesday of the school year, and I thought that today we would do something a little bit differently. So instead of me reading to you, today we are going to watch a book being read to us together. So, I am going to show you what I would be doing if I was listening to a book like we will be doing today. So one thing that I always like to have next to me when I'm listening to a book is I like to have my water with me. It's just really healthy to drink water, and I feel like I don't drink enough water when I'm busy during the day. So I feel like it's a good time to sit down and drink some water and do that for my body. Something else that I like to have with me is I like to have a pen and something to write on, because sometimes when I'm picturing, I have these pictures going on in my head. I like to draw them out or write notes about what I'm thinking. So I like to have something next to me so that I can do that. And the other thing that I'm going to have next to me today, sometimes when I'm listening to books, I like to do it with my dog, Frankie, and she likes to listen to the books with me. But sometimes, like today, Frankie's sleepy and she's not listening to the book. So I like to get a stuffy friend to listen to the book with me. This is one of my stuffy friends that I think is a baby dinosaur, but my stuffy friend does not have a name. So if you can think of a name for my stuffy friend, please let me know, because I think my stuffy friend needs a name. But sometimes whenever we're doing a read aloud together, I ask you a question. I give you some time to think. And whenever I give you time to think, you either just think in your head, or sometimes I ask you to talk with somebody around you, or to get a stuffy. So today I'm going to show you what I would be doing talking with my stuffy. So my stuffy's ready to read. I'm ready to read. Are you ready to read? Perfect. Let's get started. So I am going to share my screen with you. We are going to be listening to this book on this website called Canopy. And I like Canopy because it's a website that you can use to watch books. So instead of the book being like it is like just the pages when I read it to you, this one's a little bit more animated, as you'll see. So it's a cool website, and you can use it with your library card that we got in the library last year during school. So we are going to go ahead and get started on that video. But before we do, I want you to think about a time when you did something that was kind this summer. So we're going to take some time to think about that. And then I would like you to go ahead and pause the video. And I want you to either take some more time to think about it, or talk to somebody around you, or talk to your stuffy about it. So right now I want you to go ahead, if you don't have the things with you that you feel like you need during our read aloud, I would like you to spend some time and go and get those and pause and answer that question. What is something kind that you did this summer? And then when you are ready, I would like you to come back. And I'm going to show you that during this time, I would tell my stuffy, I would say, "Hi, stuffy. I want you to know that something kind that I did this summer is that I helped volunteer at a place that brings food to people that were sick this summer. So I helped make food boxes, and then I delivered those food boxes to people that needed them. And I knew that that was a really kind thing to do, because I was healthy this summer, and I thought it was really powerful to be able to go and help other people, and that made me feel really kind." And Stuffy's going to say, "Good job, Mrs. Oreglia. High five." I'm going to high five Stuffy. Thanks, Stuffy. Now Stuffy is ready to go. Stuffy was a great listener, and we are ready to go ahead and start this book about kindness. So I'm going to go ahead and play the book. This is called Each Kindness, and it is written by Jacqueline Woodsoon.
Snow fell on everything, turning the world a brilliant white. One morning, as we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened and the principal came in. She had a girl with her, and she said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard her whisper, "Hello." We all stared at her. Her coat was open, and the clothes beneath it looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for the snow. A strap on one of them had broken. Our teacher, Ms. Albert, said, "Say good morning to our new student." But most of us were silent. The only empty seat was next to me. That's where our teacher put Maya. And on that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled. But I didn't smile back. I moved my chair, myself, and my books a little farther away from her. When she looked my way, I turned to the window and stared out at the snow. And every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away and didn't smile back. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around.
So right now I'm going to let you see this and let you know that I've been working on this drawing of Maya. And I know you can't read it very well, but I'm going to let you know that what I did is I wrote some things about Maya. I drew a little picture of what I thought about her. And I thought that, we're talking about Maya at the beginning of the story. She's probably pretty important. So I put that she always smiles, and I drew with a smile. And I also wrote that her shoes were broken because that seemed important too. So maybe go ahead and write something or draw something that you've noticed about the book, or go ahead and do that while we keep watching.
Around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. One day, while we were near the slide, Maya came over to us. She held open her hand to show us the shiny jacks and tiny red ball she'd gotten for her birthday. "It's a high bouncer," she said, but none of us wanted to play. So Maya played a game against herself. That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, "Bet you can't guess who the new Jacks champion of the world is." Behind me, Andrew whispered, "Chloe's got a new friend. Chloe's got a new
I
friend."
added that Maya likes
"She's
games
not my
in
friend,"
my drawing. What did
I
you
whispered
add?
back. The weeks passed. Every day we whispered about Maya, laughing at her clothes, her shoes, the strange food she brought for lunch. Some days, Maya held out her hand to show us what she had brought to school. A deck of cards, pickup sticks, a small tattered doll. Whenever she asked us to play, we said no. The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed. Grass began growing where snow had once been. One day, Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes. But the shoes and the dress looked like they'd belonged to another girl before Maya. "I have a new name for her," Kendra whispered. "Never knew. Everything she has came from a secondhand store." We
Me
all
too.
laughed.
Everything I have, most of my stuff comes from a secondhand store, so I would show that I agree with
Maya
Maya.
stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope, but did not come over to us to ask if we wanted to play. After a while, she folded it double, rolled the ends around each hand, and started jumping. She jumped around the whole schoolyard without stopping. She didn't look up once, just jumped, jumped, jumped. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we were talking about kindness. Ms. Albert had brought a big bowl into class and filled it with water. We all gathered around her desk and watched her drop a small stone into it. Tiny waves rippled out away from the stone. "This is what kindness does," Ms. Albert said. "Each little thing we do goes out like a ripple into the world."
Okay, I want you to take a second now to think about that. So go ahead and pause the video if you want to. Talk to your stuffy or just think about it in your head. I want you to think about that. What happens when the teacher drops the stone into the water? What does it mean when the teacher drops a stone into the water? I want you to think about doing that for yourself. What happens when you drop a stone into the water? Take a second to think or talk with your stuffy. This time I think this is a big question, and it's something that I can picture before, so I'm just gonna go ahead and picture it in my head. So pause the video and go ahead and think about that, or share it with somebody else.
Then Ms. Albert let us each drop the stone in as we told her what kind things we had done. Joseph had held the door for his grandmother. Kendra helped change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. I carried teacher's books up the stairs, he said, and Ms. Albert said it was true. I stood there, holding Ms. Albert's rock in my hand, silent. Even small things count, Ms. Albert said gently. But I couldn't think of anything and passed the stone on. Maya didn't come to school the next day, or the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day Maya returned, and she'd look at me and smile. I promised myself.
Now I'm adding on here. I'm wondering why Maya isn't coming back. So I'm gonna write that question on here. I'm gonna say, where did Maya go? And I'm gonna put that on my notes. And I'm also going to, this is something that's going to happen to you guys too, I'm going to plug in my computer, because sometimes our computers die while we're listening to things and we're learning online. That's what I'm doing too. So I'm going to keep listening, but I'm going to go ahead and plug in my computer too, because sometimes we have to do things while we're listening.
This would be the day I smiled back. Each kindness, Ms. Albert had said, makes the whole world a little bit better. But Maya's seat remained empty. And one day, Ms. Albert announced to the class that Maya wouldn't be coming back. Her family had to move away, Ms. Albert said. Then she told us to take out our notebooks. It was time for spelling. That afternoon, I walked home alone.
Situate myself, get resituated, get my notes ready.
When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wished I would have said to Maya. Each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into it, over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, out and away. Like each kindness, done and not done. Like every girl somewhere, holding a small gift out to someone and that someone turning away from it. I watched the water ripple as the sun set through the maples, and the chance of a kindness with Maya became more and more, forever gone.
Okay. So another thing that I wrote down on my notepad whenever we were going was this quote that I really liked. It said, "The stone is like kindness. Each thing we do sends a ripple into the world." So I want you to take a second and think about that quote. I'm going to read it one more time. The stone, remember when they dropped the stone in the water, is like kindness. Each thing we do sends a ripple into the world. I want you to take a second to think about that. I'm going to talk to my Stuffy about that. First, I'm going to ask my Stuffy, hey Stuffy, what do you think about that quote? What do you think? Well, I think that every time we do something kind, that person feels really good, and then they want to do something kind to somebody else. So whenever we do something kind, it has a ripple effect, and our kindness just keeps going and going and going. I like that. So, great job today, readers. That was really fun to listen and show you what I would do as a reader. And I hope that you take some time to get ready before we do read alouds like I did today. And you get ready to, you get what you need before you read aloud, and you are all ready to go like we were today. So today, you also have an activity in Seesaw, And it is, you're going to just share something kind that you did this summer that you would say, like, remember when the kids, they say something kind and then they drop a stone into the water? I want you to think about what something kind you did this summer that you would share as you dropped a stone into the water. So I want you to go ahead and think about that. And I'm going to show you, this is what you're looking for on Seesaw. You're going to have an activity that looks like this, and you will be able to add in something kind that you did. And that will have hopefully a ripple, and we will all be able to share the kind things that we did. Great job today, readers. It was so much fun to read along with you guys. Bye.